Greetings YouTube, Daniel here again. This is my third introduction to my vlog. After that I'm just going to simply be using it as a standard vlog. I'm going to updates to my life and just talk about random things. Probably also use it to make, to record updates of my cosplay. As I said, I'm going to be cosplaying as Doug Ratman from the Portal series in the upcoming London Film and Comic-Con this summer. I'm really excited about that. And yes, I'm going to get a better camera, a webcam, hopefully, instead of having to use the back camera from my phone, because that's really bad quality. Same thing when it comes to a microphone. In any case, today I'm going to be talking about the 20 things that I hate and love about myself. Well, it was going to be 20, but then I had to narrow it down to 15, because I don't know myself that well, actually. So, I guess we'll proceed. First, let's start with the hates, because I don't want to end this video on a negative note. Okay, the 15 things that I hate about myself. Number 1. My hands. Not really my hands so much as my wrists, because these are really, really thin and skeletal appendages. They're just a bit too dainty for my taste. They're elegant, yes. Delicate, yes. But it's not something that's really good on a guy, to be honest. Plus all the motions that I make with my hands and the annoying, really, really skinny wrists. It's quite, well, yes, annoying. They're very feminine, I guess you could say. Not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just I don't want to have feminine hands. Next, number 2. My jaw. Now, a lot of you may not know this, but okay, yes, actually a lot of you should know this, because in my videos I sometimes turn to the side. My jaw is slightly distended. It's not very defined, like a lot of other Swiss people's jaws. It's very soft, and it's distended, which makes it look weird. I have a severe underbite of almost 1 centimeter, so I'm going to get surgery for that once I turn 20. That's why I'm wearing braces right now, because my teeth have to be in the exact perfect alignments before I can get the jaw surgery. Not really looking forward to that, because I'm not going to be able to eat or speak for about 1 or 2 weeks, but I'm probably going to look better after that, and it's going to be a lot easier to speak properly and also eat. Number 3, my lips. Yes, my lips. They're too thick, in my opinion, and my mouth is too narrow. Doesn't really work well. Number 4, my hair. My hair feels like a sheep's wool. It's very, very, very thick and extremely curly. It's not pleasant in the slightest. I mean, there are some people in my school, for example, have this really, really nice flat hair that looks perfect on them. With me, it's just like a bush that someone stuck on my head, and it's not good. I don't like it. It's a pain in the ass to make it look decent. But unfortunately, I cannot change that. By the way, I'm going to probably be getting a haircut soon. So, yes, it's going to look different in my vlogs. Number 5. 5? Yes, 5. My accents. It's not that my accent is really bad, it's just that I suppose it is bad if I hate my accent, and I really do, because other people, they have an accent that belongs to a defined existing country. It sounds nice. They have an American accent, they have the English accent, the Scottish accent, Welsh accent, whatever. Even Swiss people have Swiss accents, Italian people have Italian accents, French people have French accents. My accent is a mix of all sorts of accents because of my influence over the ages. My mother used to speak with a heavy Philippine accent, my father still speaks with a Swiss accent. I grew up with a lot of American and British media, a lot of my friends were American and British. Yes, but my accent does not belong to any defined country. There's no country that you can assign my accent to, because it's just a mix. And not in a good way. It's unique, and that's not a good thing when it comes to my accent. Anyway, number 6. That leads right into my voice. While other people have a really cool, pleasant tenor voice or bass, if they're guys, women have nice soprano voices, whatever. My voice is just bad. I mean, now that I'm making vlogs, I'm getting more used to it, but I just really hate the sound of my voice. It's not deep, it's not high, it's just right there in the middle register where it's just annoying. And yes, it's not very expressive either. So, but that's something I can work on, but generally just the sound of my voice is not very nice. Number 7. Yes, number 7, my physique. I'm an ectomorph, which means I'm very, very skinny and have a hard time gaining weight, whether this is in the form of fat or muscle. Some people would enjoy being skinny because it certainly has its perks, but it's more annoying than anything else because I've got a very weak build, and no matter how much I exercise, and I exercise quite often, I have kickboxing twice a week, then I also work out on Saturdays, go and stretch tomatoes on Thursdays because it doesn't seem to be enough, but just not gaining any mass. Frail and weak and dainty, like my wrist. Number 8. My skin. Well, my skin tone, really. I mean, I don't know if this is tan or olive, so that's already trouble as it is. Plus, I really enjoy cosplaying, even though I've not really done it very often. I've only done it once before. I plan to do it many more times, but for now I've only done it once. And even so, it's hard to find a character to actually cosplay as because about 80% of the characters in video games and anime and all that kind of stuff that I'd like to cosplay, they're all Caucasian. Or, well, they're white skin. Just for my cosplay as Doug Ratman, I'm going to have to apply layers upon layers upon layers of makeup, and it's going to be really tough and uncomfortable. Plus, I'm not sure if I can put makeup on my hand. That's going to be strange, but we'll see. Number 9. My awkwardness. It's pretty apparent in these videos actually that I'm a very, very awkward individual. And it's hard to fit in. I don't make many friends because of it, and yes, I feel like it pushes a lot of people away because I'm so awkward socially. I just manage to make a situation uncomfortable for everyone involved whenever I open my mouth, and that's not something that I like in the slightest. But I don't know how to change that. I'm trying really hard, but it's just difficult. Very, very difficult. Number 10. This is tied to my awkwardness, my inability to fit in. I just feel uncomfortable generally in social situations because I'm not exactly normal. Some people say being special is a good thing, like they teach in Barney or all those really crappy children's shows. But it's not. It's not very enjoyable if you don't fit in. There's no one else like you, no one relates to you, you're just alone. It can be very lonely sometimes. That's also why I love being a geek, because I know that there are other people like me out there with also other levels of social awkwardness, but in the moment I'm just alone. All alone, aside from 1 or 2 friends, but still, even then. Number 11. My movements. Yes, my very subtle movements, the way I walk, the way I speak, the way I move my hands in these videos, they're a bit on the flamboyant side, to be honest. And I don't like that. And there's nothing wrong with being flamboyant, I just don't feel comfortable being flamboyant. But I suppose it's ingrained into my subconscious, that's the way I act, that's the way I behave, and it's be very, very hard to change that. So, I guess I'm just going to have to be satisfied with the way I am. In any case, number 12. My social anxiety. That should be pretty self-explanatory. I can't speak to people. I have a hard time speaking to people. Whenever I get into mildly awkward situations, which sucks because I'm basically the paragon of awkwardness, I start to just feel extremely, anxious. In everyday situations, whenever I just speak to a person and accidentally say out the wrong thing, spurt out the wrong thing, and that happens often because my mind sometimes moves faster than my lips, and my lips sometimes move faster than my mind, so it doesn't work. And also my mental pacing is just, it accelerates and decelerates and pauses, it's just all over the place, so yes, my social anxiety is a really terrible thing. I can't speak to people. Or I can, but very, very, very badly. So, number 13. My mental sporadicity. And yes, that is the word. Sporadicity means being sporadic. My mind is literally all over the place. It's a huge mess in here. for example, I have like 5 different video games on my computer, then I play that one for a while, then I get bored, then play the other one, then I get bored with that, then play the other one, then get bored with that. Same thing with projects, and drawings, and all sorts of stuff. I just hop all over the place, and it's not something you can really control because it's instinctual. Sorry, that's not a word. Instinctive. Now, number 14. My lack of perception. This is not really something that I really hate about myself. It just happens to be one of my flaws. I'm not a very perceptive person. Very often I'm caught up in my own dream world. I fail to see what's right in front of me quite often. And, well, it can be pretty bad sometimes. Number 15. My overall general appearance. I do not believe I'm attractive in the slightest. In fact, I think I'm rather ugly. Now, my relatives, like my mother and all those people, they say otherwise, but they're relatives, so I don't believe a word that they say. I don't think I'm attractive. And I've come to be okay with that, to be honest. I've accepted the fact that I'm not the best looking person. I'm certainly making an effort, but that's the best I can do. Now that I've got that behind me, I'm going to go on to the things I love about myself. First of all, my eyes. I really love my eyes. They're very expressive. It's tied together with my brow also. The only thing that I don't like about my eyes is that my eyelashes are quite long, but, well, other than that, I really, really like my eyes. Especially that, because when the light shines in it from a certain angle, they glisten like golden brown honey, and it's just, I really like my eyes. Number 2. My nose. That may sound strange, but I really like the shape of my nose. It's just a really beautiful nose. Perfect nose every other way. That's one of the only physical qualities that have my eyes, of course, that I really like about myself, my nose and my eyes. Number 3. My imagination. I'm a very, very imaginative person. I very often get lost in my own fantasies, which can be a bit of a pain at school, but I've just got a very, very vast imagination. It really helps with creative tasks like creating characters and stuff like that, writing stories, writing poems. My imaginative ability is pretty awesome. Now on to number 4, my artistic ability. I am aware that I'm not the best of artists, and I can be very self-critical at times, but my art is good, and nobody can tell me otherwise. I'm gradually improving. When I look at the leaps that I've made in the last year alone, it's just amazing how much I've progressed. And my talent truly loves in art. My love lies in art. It's not just the ability to paint and do art itself, it's also the ability to appreciate art. Not many people can appreciate the tonal variations and the contrasting colors in an art piece, but if you know the history behind that piece, if you know the background, if you know what you need to know about that piece, you can just love it so much more. Which is why I don't really have a favorite painting, to be honest. There are just way too many to choose from. They're all amazing. My favorite artist of all time, that would have to be Leonardo da Vinci. 2 reasons. First of all, he's amazing at art. He's just, you look at his anatomical drawings, they're just amazingly specific and just incredible. A human marvel. Second of all, he's gay, so I root for him, even though he's dead. Number 5. My geekiness. Now, being a geek is something that I'm incredibly proud of. That is no secret. And contrary to popular belief, being a geek does not mean you're great at computers or mathematics or that you're in the chess club. No. The definition of being a geek is someone who's enthusiastic about his hobbies and everything that he loves. Look it up in Wikipedia or pretty much anything else. You don't have to be smart to be a geek. You just have to love what you do and do what you love. Whether it's cosplay, whether it's the enthusiasm that you put into a fandom, whether, well, it's writing or chess, or I guess even if you're a athlete, you're sort of a geek, a sports geek. But I just love being a geek. I'm part of this massive, beautiful community. We're all wonderfully weird and bizarre and just cool. And we fit well together. Unfortunately, there are not many geeks where I live, so yeah. Number 6. My enthusiasm. I'm very enthusiastic about a lot of things, especially my fandoms, and I'm into quite a lot of fandoms. Doctor Who, Sherlock, Attack on Titan, a lot of video game series like Dragon Age, Mass Effect, Portal, Silent Hill, all sorts of stuff. And not just that, also work that I do, my art, school work that I enjoy doing, depending on what the task is, I'm very enthusiastic about those stuff, and I like being enthusiastic. My enthusiasm is something that I'm really glad I have. Number 7, my foresight. By foresight, I don't mean the psychic ability to see the future. I mean the ability to plan ahead and prepare for all situations. I plan everything ahead, even what's going to happen the next year and all that stuff. Sure, it can get a little irksome when my plans get interrupted due to unexpected changes in my situation, but I'm very good at planning. Very, very good at planning ahead. Unfortunately, I don't really live in the present because of that, and that can make me trip over stuff, as I said, perception issues. But I am quite excellent at living in the future. Number 9, my vocabulary. I don't really show it in these videos too often, because I'm infinitely better at writing than I am at speaking, but I've got a very, very grand vocabulary. I know so many words and variations to words in the English language, and even in the German one I know quite a lot of variations, and different words that are used in different situations to make it more academic sounding. And that's something I'm proud of, my firm grasp of languages in general. Number 9, my sexuality. I'm gay, and I'm proud of it. A lot of people might try to put me down, they have in the past, they still do, but I'm not going to let anyone bother me because of it. In fact, I'm proud about it. This is what LGBTQ pride is. And I'm glad I'm part of that community. As hard as it is, as much pain as it brings, it's all worth it. And following that, it leads into the next number. Number 10, my tolerance. I'm the most tolerant person I know. I don't hate anyone, well, unless they did something that explicitly displeases me, such as using slangs of any kind, whether it's racial slurs or homophobic slurs or anything like that. I don't care what your gender is, what your sexuality is, what your race is. If you're tall, if you're short, if you're fat, if you're thin, I don't discriminate. I really don't care about any of that stuff. You're a human being and you're amazing, and that's all there is to it. Number 11, my fashion sense. Yes, that makes me sound like a diva, but I'm not. My fashion sense was terrible. It still isn't fantastic, but when I compare my style, waistcoats, shirts, really nice coats. I have a huge collection of coats, more coats than I actually bother wearing, and not all of them fit too well, but still. When I compare them to what other people in my school wear, sagging pants, baseball caps, hoodies, it's not nice in the slightest. Class is fashionable. They don't have it. They just... it's terrible to look at. Plus, they wear these Technicolor things. It's just terrible. And I guess my fashion sense also ties in with my artistic ability. But I'm not really going to go any further about that. So, number 12. My determination. I'm a very, very determined individual. If I set my mind to one thing, I see it through to the end. I'm sure my mind can be a little sporadic at times, but when I do manage to anchor myself into one specific thing, I'll give it all I got. And I won't stop until I'm done with it. It's not something everybody can claim. I don't give up easily. In fact, I rarely give up at all. So, now on to number 13, my decency. I'm a very polite and decent individual. Something you don't really see nowadays, considering how gangly and rude and obnoxious many other people are my age, namely most of my school. They're very mature, and it's not very pleasant at all. They're not very pleasant at all. But I pride myself in being a decent individual. I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I drink socially, basically whenever there's a birthday party or something to celebrate, but even then I don't drink to the point of getting hammered. Can you use hammered like that? I thought, is hammered only with drugs? I don't know. In any case, yes, I'm decent. Not that people who smoke are indecent, it's just that it's not exactly pleasant smoking, to be honest. The way it's really deadly for you, the way it smells bad. Not the smokers smell fine, it's not nice when you're standing in the middle of a train station, somebody puffs a cloud of nicotine into your face. In any case, number 14, my persistence. Now this varies from my determination in the fact that I always get back up when I fall. And I don't mean that just in a physical sense. I mean that in a figurative sense in my life, of course. Very often I've been to places where it's just like, it felt like there was no opening. It's just a big, dark, black wall, but I managed to find a way through. I always persist. That's something that I love about myself. And now, for the final one, number 15, my quirks. I'm a very quirky individual. All geeks are to a certain degree. All social outcasts are. Anybody with a small amount of anxiety who doesn't fit into proper social contacts, it has their quirks. Now, my quirks include, for example, playing an invisible piano on the table whenever there's a song stuck in my head, adjusting my glasses whenever I'm nervous, when I wear my glasses. If I don't, I just, well, scratch my nose. Folding my hands behind my back whenever I stand in public, in something that's not a coat. That sort of things. Sure, it can be a little strange at times, but I really love my quirks. In fact, I love myself. It may not seem like that at times, but I do love myself. And there's no one I'd rather be than myself, than me. Okay, so that was my video. The final introduction to my vlog. Hopefully it was the final video that I'm going to be making with this really crappy camera. Also, I didn't make a video yesterday because the previous video took much longer to edit than I thought it would. Because I had the camera the wrong way around and all that stuff, so it was really just difficult. So, sorry. In any case, this is Daniel signing out. Farewell.